Okay, we are doing a question of the day right now. 2 nights ago, I think it was, one of my people here sent me through one of the best question of the days I've ever got. One of the best questions probably I've ever got. He asked me, what have you had to accept about yourself to get to where you are? What have you had to accept about yourself to get where you are? Probably one of the best questions I've ever had, because the answer to that is the secret. You want to get this, you want to understand this. You will empower your life. You will master your life to the degree that you know yourself. Most people don't know themselves. They want to present some half-baked illusion, some half side of themselves. If you have ever caught yourself saying, I am never this, or I always am this. Always and never, by the way, are one-sided polarities. That you're trying to present you're trying to disown half of yourself, because you're not always anything and you're not never anything. And I'm convinced, I know that a lot of the fears that people have, the fears that stop them from going on and getting on with their life, is the fear of being found out for who you really are. For having the side of yourself that you're trying to disown, I'm never that, having that come to the surface. And it's usually all the negative traits. Failure, loser, follower, disempowered, weak. Everyone has all those things. So if you don't see that you are all those things as well as all the positive ones, you're going to want to shut that down, and you'll have fears. You'll have fear of all the people who you think are always all positive, but you only see them in the daytime. You don't see that they got all them as well. But you're infatuated with the people who you put on a pedestal, usually mum or dad, and then the preachers, teachers, all the people who you think are above you, who don't have the negative things. You'll want to try and impress them. Shut that down. You have fears. So one of the most empowering things you could possibly do with your life is to fill out this. This is my Hierarchy of Souls Desires template. This is my purpose finding program, by the way, which I'm going to launch very, very soon. But on step 8 here, we have you go through all the positive traits, all the negative traits. The more opposite pairs of traits that you own in your life, the more you'll be able to master your life. The easier and more effortless you'll be able to wiggle through life and empower your shit. So you want to own that you're active and lazy, adventurous and cautious, altruistic and narcissistic, aspiring and careless. When you own all the opposites, there's no fear of this surfacing, and there's no fear of you failing on this side. So you want to own where you're successful and where you're a failure, where you're a loser and where you're a winner, where you're wise and where you're foolish. Own them all. What that process does, it liberates you to do what the hell you want to do. Because if you're starting in your business and you've got fear of failure, you already know that you are a failure. You're a success and you're a failure. So if you fail, who gives a fuck? Failing is great, especially at the start of your journey. Failing usually pays the biggest ROI in anything that you can do. Make a failure, make a balls up, put in place systems and delegations and tools so that you never make that bloody failure again. And in the long run, it pays a huge ROI, failures. The fear and the hurt and the, oh my God, the only reason that's a thing is because you're trying to show the world that you're a winner and that you're always successful and you're always winning. It's always a never thing. I'm never a failure. You don't want that to surface. It's because you don't fucking know yourself. So you go to someone who's really disempowered, who's playing a really small game, really dense fucker, and you ask them, where are their pairs of opposite traits? And they'll give you one side. I'm always this way, and I'm never that, and I'm always this, and I'm never that. Dumb fucks say that. But you go and get a more empowered cat, a wise cat, someone who's empowered their life, someone who's inspired and they love their life and they've built success and they've empowered all areas of their life. You ask them and they'll tell you, sometimes I win, sometimes I lose, sometimes I'm a success, sometimes I'm a failure. They know they have it all. And so all the energy that they would have otherwise dissipated on trying to present half them side and trying to hide half of their true nature because they don't actually love that part of themselves, yet all of that energy is conserved and pushed into the inspired focus. It pushes into your mission. So thank you whoever sent that question through. That was one of the best questions of the days that I've literally ever had. That is, as far as I'm aware, probably the closest that I can get to the secret of empowering your life. Knowing yourself, being yourself, loving yourself.